CARA'S Cult is holding open auditions for the Poly Apostles this weekend, so make sure to submit in your resumes. You're a little mug, you know that? You're a little mug. Hello, welcome back everybody to the video series dedicated to a show on MTV that looks like they bought all their relics from Pier 1. That's right, I'm talking about The Challenge Season 34, the Worlds 2, Episode 8, and in this episode, Zach describes himself as an over-enthusiastic soccer mom, CT diagnoses Kyle with diabetes, and D and Ninja's friendship gets put to the test. But let's start off where last episode left off, and that was Bear getting eliminated by Joss in the elimination. Everybody's coming back to a much quieter house. However, it's not too quiet as everybody's taking inventory on whose side, and it looks like Jordan and Tori's side is getting diminished more and more as the game goes on, but Polly and Cara's side, which is coined as CARA'S Cult in this episode, is getting stronger and stronger by the week. Speaking of stronger sides, let's go into this week's daily challenge called Crate Expectations. Man, I love a thickens pun. And in this daily challenge, there's 125 crates on the other side of this very long field. The teams will be running over to get thetheir crates. They have to move all 125 crates into the field of play. Once they do that, they can start stacking them and taking down these hanging relics. Now, once the team gets down all 12 of their hanging relics, put them in the right spot, they have to take all their 125 crates, put them back where they got them from, and the first team to do that wins, gets to make up the tribunal, and gets to nominate not one, but two people, as this is a double elimination. That's right, we're at the halfway point, and we need to get rid of more of these jokers in here. Now, I know this is kind of deja vu, but every single week I have to say it because it's true. The US get off to a great start in this daily challenge. They are like a well-oiled machine once it comes to the actual daily challenges and working together. They might not see eye to eye strategically or psychologically, but during a daily challenge in the physicalness, they are all on the same page. They are like working together. It's crazy how good they work together. And even strategically, they were doing fantastic. They split into two teams. So one team stayed with Zach and was stacking crates up for him. They even had two runners for him when he took down the relics. And then another side went with Jordan and he was taking off the relics. They got all their relics done and the UK team just couldn't catch up. They were really just waiting for Theo to take down all of them. And then they started getting into where there was Theo and Kyle, but they were always a step or two behind and they just could not catch up. It was like last week's daily challenge and the week before that and the week before that. Like I said, it's like deja vu, but US wins this one pretty handedly. They get to make up the tribunal and their speaker this week is Ashley, and she decides to make the tribunal her, Polly, and Cara, which if Polly and Cara's side was getting stronger and stronger, well, it's going to be even that much stronger as they are both in the tribunal this week alongside Ashley, who is a part of the CARA'S Cult, as Georgia likes to refer to it. And the UK team is absolutely demolished. They are just, their morale is so low, it's hitting the bottom of the barrel as they have to go back to the nominations and they have to nominate not one but two people. But before we get to the nominations, I have to tell you what was going on just before the nominations. That was Ninja being sent by the US team to go talk to D about keeping the quote-unquote weakest players / the anchors of the UK team safe this week in this double elimination and having them not nominate Esther or Idris. And D was like, I can't do that. Esther already told everybody that she's gonna nominate herself to be put in the proving grounds to prove herself that she deserves to be on this team. And Ninja was like, make her not do that. And D's like, what am I gonna do? And I totally get D's strategy. If it's not Esther, it could be D. So it's better her than me kind of thing. And I cannot deny that. That's a great strategy. Just let whoever nominates themselves nominate themselves, which is one of the first 3 rules of the challenge is don't nominate yourself. Don't throw yourself into elimination. We go into the nominations and it starts off with Esther saying, hey, I'm gonna nominate myself, and Cara is not having it. Everybody else is cool with it on the UK team because they don't have to fight or anything, but Cara is not having it, and she's mad at D specifically for letting it happen, which I don't know how you can let it happen. Esther is her own person. She can nominate herself if she wants to. But on the guy's side, there's no volunteering. There is nobody nominating themselves. But you know what? Joss nominates his own opinion and says that Kyle should go into the elimination. Rogan backs up his buddy. Idris backs up that. And then it's like an avalanche and everybody votes for Kyle to go in, or majority votes for Kyle to go in. Now fast forward to the going out into the bar, into the area, and that's when Cara, Ashley, Ninja all decide to have a powwow with D and talking about how bad the strategy is for letting Esther nominate herself and how that's bad for D specifically, and also how it's good for the US. D really holds her own. Let me tell you right now, I'm very, very proud and actually really impressed how strong and how stone-faced and how Stonewall Jackson D gets when this bombardment happens. And D even says that she is a very emotional player. We saw that last season. We saw that this season with the whole Rogan situation. Yet when these girls are coming at her and telling her why she was wrong or why this was this, D just holds her own. She's really poker faced. Even Kyle coming from the back end of her saying like, oh yeah, doing his little quips, and she's just like, oh yeah, okay, sure, whatever, Kyle. Not only does she hold her own, but when everybody leaves and Ninja is just standing there, she gets on Ninja for not having her back, not keeping her having her best interest at heart, and Ninja starts to break down, which I thought D was definitely gonna break down, but Ninja breaks down just because D was coming at her. Fast forward to the next day, and D and Ninja iron everything out, and they're all best friends, and they're doing the great things. Alright, next, let's go into the elimination. Let's go into the elimination talk, and we know that Kyle and Esther are in this elimination, and now it's up to the tribunal to vote in somebody from either the UK or the US team to go into this elimination, to go up against Kyle, to go up against Esther, and they all vote unanimously, which is awesome. 3-0 on both ends of voting in Georgia and Theo. And it's ladies first going into this elimination called Running Riots. And in this elimination there is a wall of numbers just smushed together, and each number is put with a relic that's on the other side of this proving ground, and there is a decoder on there that tells you which relic is which number, and you have to grab all the relics. You have to move all your relics to the proving grounds one by one. You have to put them in the right order. The first person to put all their relics in the right order, all 25 of them, wins the elimination and gets to stay in this game, still going for $1 million. And let me tell you right now, I think people had more faith in Esther than they did, say, Big T when she went up against Georgia. But let me tell you right now, she was still an underdog coming into this, and I don't think a lot of people gave her a shot to win this, but she came out firing. Like, once TJ blew that horn, she was like an Olympic runner. She was like an Olympic sprinter getting down there. She even got there first before Georgia, and she was just like, she was keeping up with her. Let me tell you right now, she was keeping up with her. She was just like a hair behind every time. Put some respect on Esther's name, and that she should be here, that she proves something, that she can fight with the big dogs, or at least Georgia. And it came down to it. Georgia got all of her relics inside the proving ground. She got all there. Esther was only 3 relics behind her. However, when she put them down, Georgia didn't have them in the right order. So now she's like freaking out. She's looking at the decoder. She has to remember what the decoding is. And Esther she kept on going. She kept on going. She did not quit. She was only 3 behind. By the time that Georgia figured out her mistake and got everything in the right order, Esther was bringing in her last relic, and she could have won this. She really could have won this, but Georgia wins this, sending Esther home. And now let's go on to the guys, Kyle versus Theo. And let me tell you right now, just like Esther, Kyle's coming in as a major underdog. We saw them go up against each other in the Hall Brawl last season, and Kyle was majorly injured. He left even more injured after that Hall Brawl. Theo is just an amazing athlete. He's faster, he has a lot more endurance, he's an Olympian. Kyle came in with a different strategy of getting this lighter objects first, and he was coming in super quickly. And you know what? He had a bit of a lead early on against Theo. Theo had his own strategy, and you know what? He knew what he had to do. He had his own strategy. He kept calm, cool, and collected, and that was ultimately Theo's biggest asset going into this, or throughout this whole competition, where when it got down to the later part of it, Theo had lapped Kyle, and he was 22, he had 22 relics to Kyle's 20, and then Kyle only had the bigger pieces left, and he couldn't even move it. He looked like he had baby giraffe legs, and he put his last relic down. TJ automatically knew he had it right. He blew the horn, so Theo wins this elimination, sending Kyle home along with Esther, but they did a great job in this elimination, in this game. Good job. We'll see y'all next time, but Theo and Georgia stay in this game, get to go for $1 million, and let me tell you right now, I had so much faith, I had so much hope that they were going to turn on their team and go to the US team. I was like, if anybody's gonna do it, it's these two. Georgia said she was gonna stay with the UK team, and Theo followed suit, and it's just like, You know what? I've given up hope. I've given up hope at this moment. Like, I felt like that was the best shot for us seeing this twist actually being used, and it wasn't. So, you know what? Who cares? At this point, if somebody changes, hip hip hooray, but at this point, we've hit the halfway point, and nobody's taken any opportunity to do this twist. It's heartbreaking. I feel like the UK team now. I'm just like, whatever, my morale's down, I'm low. Do this twist or not, I don't care. But what do you think about this episode? Let me know that in the comment section below. What do you think about the double elimination? What do you think about Esther and Kyle in this elimination? Did they gain your respect, or were you just like, yeah, it happened the way I thought it would happen? Let me know that in the comment section below. I want to hear what you have to say. We are halfway through the point. What did you think about the game so far, and what did you think about the sneak peek, the mid-season teaser that was at the end of this episode? I haven't had a chance of really going deep diving into it yet, but I'm probably sure I will, and I'll make a video about it. But thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I want to hear everything and anything you have to say about this season, about a player, about every player. Let me know that in the comment section below, and I'll be back really soon with more challenge videos, challenge brief history on Saturdays, going in blind Tuesday nights, and join me next week for another challenge review and recap of the challenge season 3 for War of the Worlds 2. But until then, peace.